having a panic attack about the Patriarch and then realizing nobody's going to take him. It's the Vox Cascadia podcast. Welcome back, gentlemen. How you doing there, Connor?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a day and a half, as I was saying. I'm a little bit late. Sorry, guys, on that. But throughout the day, it's been extremely windy here in Kitsap for the past 2 days. Like crazy windy, knocking umbrellas out of people's hand stuff. We lost power, and we were in the mid process of taking everything out of our fridge and bringing it over to my mom's place. When we realized, we have a breaker, and we just didn't realize where it was at. So we then had to unpack all of that in a quick moment. And then I get to the computer, like, all right, sweet. I got 10 minutes before the podcast starts. Computer took about 30 minutes just to reboot. This thing is old and a dinosaur. And despite me loving AdMech, I can't figure out a computer. So sorry.
You couldn't just say a prayer to the Omnissiah and get that thing
I was
to
doing
fire up,
everything I could. I was lighting the incense. I was praying on my hands and knees. I was offering my left leg if I'd replace it with bionics if it would just restart in time. But nothing was seeming to do the trick.
What kind of computer you got, man? That's crazy.
So, as I said in the chat on my phone, my computer is the ship of Theseus in that I think other than the actual keyboard and the monitor itself, everything is a hand-me-down part for my friend group because I played on a laptop for most of the games we played in high school and college, and I never really owned a PC. And I won a bet from one of my friends that gave me the first half of it, and then I just kind of crowdsourced the rest of the remaining parts I needed.
I mean, my computer's 8 years old, but it still runs.
Yeah, my 8-year-old computer's fast as fuck. I don't know what you're talking about.
The other problem is I just know nothing about computers, so that's not helping my case. Of anytime there's an issue, I have to call my dear friend Matt and be like, Matt, what's wrong? And he'll most of the time be able to figure it out. But it's
I'm not feeling the AdMech here. If you can't even take care of your own shit.
See, my big thing of why I actually like the AdMech, besides the worship of technology, despite not knowing anything about it, is the whole replacing my body part. I got that down. But the other thing is, I like to view the AdMech as robot Indiana Joneses, where they go around trying to find ancient lost tech, and that's ironically what drew me to the love of them more than any sort of pray to the machine spirit type of thing. Though I am going to start doing that more often now.
So the ancient lost tech that they're going to find soon is going to be your computer, isn't it?
It'll be that or my insulin pump.
And your insulin pump is actually probably more advanced than your computer, is what I hear.
Absolutely. It's pretty cool how far it's come in the 10 years I've been using a pump, because now it's all wireless. It's essentially I just carry a second thing that looks like a phone, but it controls my ability to be alive.
If someone were to steal that from you, could we get you to calm down or speed you up a little bit?
See, the problem would either be they deny me my insulin, which is just going to make me angry, because when I have a high blood sugar, I get really frustrated and red in the face all the time.
Well, I don't know how diabetes works anyways.
That's okay.
Yeah. So anyways, Tyler, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing real good. Feeling real productive lately.
You said you scarfed down a burger before you hopped on. What kind of burger did you have, bud?
I had the Killer Burger pickle burger. So double. It was quite delicious tonight.
The peanut butter pickle bacon burger?
Yep, you know it. That's the only reason to eat Killer Burger, if I'm being honest.
It's fantastic. I think we've talked about this before, but when I used to eat meat, I was skeptical of the peanut butter pickle bacon burger, and then I had it, and life-changing moment. Still won't eat animals.
Yeah, I wish I was as good as you. I used to be vegan vegetarian for good portion of my life, and just there's a lot going on, and I don't have the energy or patience to eat a proper vegetarian diet these days.
Yeah, some days it's just a lot of eating grass clippings and stuff. It's tough, but I live that life.
Thank you for eating like a cow so that others eat cows.
Yeah, it's the four stomachs and the methane farts that really get me through it.
You're God's strongest, the on the side strongest soldier, Chuck, and for that I thank you.
Connor, besides fighting your computer, what have you been up to in the hobby?
Honestly, not a ton this week. I've been pretty lazy in it. The most I've really done is clipped out a whole host of Into the Dark narrative stuff, because I just wanted to have it, so I've been collecting that slowly over time, and it's been fun to building it.
Tyler, what about you? What have you been working on, bud?
I've been working on a little secret project of mine for kit bashes and little side projects. Man of 1,000 projects, you know me. So you'll see it at some point in the future.
Can you give us like a tease, like a hint besides Secret Project?
Yeah, Vampirotech Circle.
Vampirotech Circle. I think that sounds cool. I can see that. We're talking like some AOS kits and
Yeah, yeah. Think so it's not like it's a stand-in. It's not supposed to be Hyrotech Circle, but play like Hyrotech Circle. So
nice. Well, I can't wait to see what it is because your kit bashes always turn out super cool, and my basic ass models they can't live up to that. But speaking of basic ass models, I've been working on my mandrakes a little bit. I think I've got my paint scheme down so I can actually start cranking those out. I kit bashed one of my Night Lords with as much as it pained me, my beautiful baby Blood Angels. I put some Blood Angel Terminator claws on the what's the guy with the lightning claws, Tyler?
it is the what is it? The Screecher.
Screecher, yes. He has Blood Angel claws because I finished the Soul Hunter book, which we're going to be having a book club on Thursday for it. Tyler and Connor, are you coming?
I'm gonna be there.
I sadly will not. I have not even started the book yet.
Well, you've got like, I don't know, like 36 hours. You can finish it before then.
That's a possibility, but probably not going to make it, sadly. But I hope you
Well,
guys all have fun.
well, we will. And this will be the second book club in a row that you've missed. And you heard how upset people were last time.
I'm sorry to let the people down.
Connor, the people need you. They need more of you.
Every time I try and put myself in something, you yell at me, Chuck.
I don't yell at anyone, actually. I just talk sternly in the dad voice.
That's even worse than yelling. You should
I
know
know,
this.
but I don't yell. Yeah, so worked on my mandrakes a little bit, working on my demons team for the page match. So still have to figure out a time for that. I haven't heard from her in a little bit to see how her progress is, but yeah, and I'm super excited to get the termination box, which we'll talk about in a little bit too. So, Connor, one thing I want to talk to you about is when we were up in Bremerton for your tournament, you recommended Mob Psycho 100 to Nick and I as an anime.
I did, yes. I saw this in the show notes, and I'm very concerned. But Mob Psycho 100 is probably one of my favorite animes. Maybe just anime in general. One of the first shows I ever watched with Sierra. Absolutely adore it. We have matching little keychains from the characters in it.
So I need to, well, first, Tyler, have you ever heard of this or watched this at all?
I think I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
All right, Connor, why is this a good show?
It's a good show for a whole host of reasons. The characters in it are great. The number one reason, Body Improvement Club, you think they're going to be a bunch of stereotypical jocks, but instead they're some of the most friendly and like welcoming people in the entire universe, and I adore them. The concept of the show is very fun because it's that whole idea of everyone is special, or no one is necessarily special, but that's what makes life special, and you have to find your own meaning and reasons to like find the joy in life, which is something I don't necessarily like subscribe to, but it's something I can find myself agreeing with. That like there might not be something special about life, but finding your own reason to enjoy it is what makes it special.
So Nick and I started watching it on your recommendation, and halfway through the first episode, Nick's quote was, "I hope my kid doesn't get into this." But then we continued to watch it, and we watched like 4 or 5 episodes because we're lazy and didn't want to find anything else to watch, and it was okay. So we're gonna keep on with it. So if this doesn't pay off in like the first 75 episodes, though, you're gonna be responsible for this.
Well, I got some good news for you. I think it's only like something like 30 episodes total. It's no One Piece. It's not a million episodes.
Actually, there's at least 3 seasons with 25 episodes each.
Oh, is there? I'm wondering if they're counting. What are you watching it on?
Netflix.
Oh, interesting. I wonder.
Oh, sorry, no. Hulu.
Hulu. I'm wondering if I know Hulu sometimes will say that the Japanese and the English dub are like the same season, despite like both episodes will be back to back, one in like Japanese, one then with the English dub. Because I'm like 90% sure it's like 10 to 12 episodes each season, but it's been a bit of time since I looked, so I might be wrong.
You might be right because I did see both of those, but when I looked at it, it said 24 episodes per season. So Was there only 3 seasons of it then?
There are only 3 seasons. The entire, as the name is, Mob Psycho 100. The original manga author is the same guy who did One Punch Man. So if you like One Punch Man, check the show out too. But he specifically only wrote 100 chapters. In theory, he kind of cheated because like chapter 99 to 100, there was like 6 parts, like 99.1, 99.2. But it's a pretty short read and anime overall.
I do. I can understand that the One Punch Man anime artist was the same person because the main character kind of looks like the dude from One Punch Man, right?
Yes, especially reading the manga as I went and did, it shows that the guy, he's a very great storyteller, but he just doesn't necessarily have like that artistic like skill developed at the time he's writing it. But I kind of like how that adds to the overall story because with how essentially like ridiculous these characters are in strength, the fact they just look like stick figures almost, or like like the level right above stick figures, kind of adds to it in my opinion.
All right. Well, Nick and I are giving it a little more chance. It's not the worst recommendation, but we were first like 3 episodes. We were like, what are we doing?
Well, I appreciate you watching something on my recommendation. And now I have something similar, but Dakota and Jackmo recommended Furiosa, and I knew I'd probably like it because I love, Fury Road. I love Mad Max, but absolutely everyone should go watch this movie. It's a shame it's not doing as well financially as it should be because there are multiple moments in the movie where I practically jumped out of my chair from this such a cool idea happening.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Fury Road was awesome, and Furiosa looks great. But yeah, it is apparently bombing at the box office.
It's last I saw it was like 115 million and it cost 160 million to make, which is a shame because like it took George Miller so much time and money just to get the rights to making this movie because Warner Brothers, as they often are, were being complete assholes to him. And I'm sad that it's not doing well because it should be doing much better. But my next plan is we should just give him the Scorsese treatment, where we expect his movies not to make money, but we understand they're cinematic masterpieces, so we just fund them anyways as like public work.
Yeah, that's one that I thought about going to see in the theater, but again, yeah, nobody is going to see in the theater. And I don't know, theaters are kind of like COVID's kind of killed them, especially with the release schedule they have with stuff now. Like I was talking to one of my employees who was talking about going to see Fall Guy, the new Ryan Reynolds. No, who's the other guy? The guy from
Ryan
Drive.
Gosling.
Yeah.
The other Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be on pay per view in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks after that, it's on just like a streaming service, like with ads, but you can watch it. But I heard the other day that you only need to see 4 movies a year to save the theaters on average. So, if you enjoy the theaters, you should go do that. I've tried to. I went and saw the Garfield movie recently. It was awful.
I'm Tyler. Why did you see the Garfield movie?
My girlfriend's family came down and they were like, hey, we want to go see the Garfield movie. And so we were like, okay. And we went and saw the Garfield movie and it was awful. I dislike Chris Pratt as a voice actor and as an actor, just in general. I don't really like him. He was like fine in Parks and Rec, kind of annoying if you rewatch it, but like, yeah, why is he voicing everything?
Well, why is he voicing Mario? Like that turned out fine, but I don't know. That seems like the most like American thing to do is to make Chris Pratt be the voice of Mario.
I mean, like Garfield also like the Garfield movie. Honestly, probably written by AI. Like, there's no fucking way a person who's ever like read a Garfield cartoon wrote that fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the next thing that Hollywood's just gonna write everything with AI because it's cheaper, and it's all about profits and not about like quality.
Yeah, I mean, like like what's Garfield's favorite food?
Lasagna.
Okay, he didn't even care. Like he liked lasagna, but it wasn't that big of a deal. He just liked all Italian food. Like he was just like into like pizza and cannolis and like spaghetti and everything. Not like specifically lasagna.
I mean, I can appreciate that Garfield's palate has like expanded over the time, and maybe he would like some cacio e pepe, and maybe a little bit of yeah, he's branching out from lasagna.
No, it wasn't like that. You'd have to watch this movie, which I don't encourage. You go see one of these other wonderful movies. I saw Fall Guy a while back. It was great. Haven't seen Furiosa yet, but like either one of those, go see that instead of Garfield.
Did it speaking of Chris Pratt, I know in the Mario movie, I don't know if either of you have seen that, but we kind of saw it on a whim just because it was like $10 for the both of us. They said Mamma Mia about every 5 minutes or every scene. Was there anything like that in Garfield where he was like, I hate Mondays every 5 minutes or something?
Um, like there was like a weird. It's really hard to explain. Like there was like a weird cartoon montage at the beginning of it, and like it was like I hate Mondays, and it did like all of like the Garfield stuff over this like weird like song, like, and it lasted like a couple minutes, and then there was like a whole different plot about like a heist, which didn't really make any sense, and like
Turn into
Garfield.
like Garfield's Ocean 11 or something, or
No, he was like doing a heist, and he like was reunited with his dad who abandoned him in an alley, and like John, he like invaded John at this Italian restaurant, and like no, it was like really fucking weird. Like it's like so like without spoiling the movie, because I know some people care about spoilers and they may see the Garfield movie. It was bizarre. Like it just like was not Garfield. Like it was like something that was aware of Garfield and the concept of Garfield, but like then they wrote a whole different movie and inserted him in it, kind of.
I don't feel like you can do Chris Pratt as Garfield. Like Bill Murray was Garfield, and I think Bill Murray kind of phoned it in, but still, that sounds like a better Garfield.
He was like way too enthusiastic, like Chris Pratt is. I always view Garfield as kind of like an apathetic character, stuff like that. Like it was like a whole bunch of new characters, like I said, the whole like heist and family drama and stuff like that. And like, yeah, it was just like a lot.
I actually kind of want to watch it now just to see what the hell is going on.
I mean, like, I would love to talk about it with someone else because it was extraordinarily bad, and I like to complain about bad movies, but like, it wasn't bad, like, charming. It was like bad, like, not worth watching until you can watch it for free.
Well, Nick and Jenna are going to be down this weekend, so maybe we will indulge in some things that are legal in Washington, Oregon, and then watch Garfield and give you our review.
It sounds wonderful. I'd love to hear it.
No, Chuck, instead go see Furiosa. You can watch Garfield later. Go see Furiosa, please.
I'm going to go with Garfield.
I hate you.
All right. So, speaking of things that are high quality and aren't going to make money, Kill Scream 3. Tyler, we officially launched it this week. We've been teasing it for months because we're just big teases, but
Yeah,
it's officially announced.
it is. It's been a lot of build up to it. There's a lot of stuff to get kind of organized and set up and ready to launch something like this. As we kind of announced at the very end of the announcement for Killscream, this has turned into a full on convention that we're going to be announcing in a couple weeks. We've got vendors, and we got painting classes and all kinds of exciting stuff. Other game systems, and we're still talking with people and just getting that last little bit wrapped up. But I'm just so excited to be able to get Killscream out there. It is a 128 player golden ticket event. Beyond that, you'll get a invite down to Dakota's events in SoCal for the West Coast Championships, which will be dope. And then you'll also get a trip to Atlanta for the Games Workshop World Championships, and then a giant custom wrestling belt on top of all of it.
Yeah, so Kill Scream 2 was bigger than you thought it'd be. It was ended up being a golden ticket, 64 player tournament at Guardian Games in Portland. We're just going to be down the street from Guardian Games now in the Lloyd Center, actually, which is the center of it all. If you live in the Portland area, you'll know that reference. It actually is one of the things it's famous for is it has an ice rink in it where you can actually go skate. So between Kill Team games, if you want to, you could probably go skate too.
Yeah, chill off at your lunch, get a little hot blooded, go cool off on the ice skating rink.
So yeah, and Lloyd Center has kind of been a staple in the Portland area. It was a mall. It is a mall, and so it's been, as most malls have, they've a little they aren't exactly in their peak these days, but we've been working with the people that run Lloyd Center to get an amazing space. It's going to be 2 stories We have over 12,000 square feet of space. We're going to be running a vendor hall, a 128 player kill team tournament, like Tyler talked about. We're also looking at other game systems too, and like Tyler said too, we're going to have actually some painting classes too. We've got a special area just for painting. It's going to be nice, secluded back area where people can actually paint and get away from the chaos that is going to be Killscream 3.
And vendors as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're working with vendors, local and some local stores, as well as some national and international brands too.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Just stuff we can talk about. I'll be selling my shirts there. Well, not me personally, because I'll be TOing and running the event, but I will have someone there selling my shirts. The place that prints my shirts is going to be doing live shirt printing. We got a couple indie game makers that are coming out and displaying their products that are worth checking out. Dakota's going to be there with Squad Games, most likely displaying his stuff. So that's just like a couple of things we have, and we're reaching out and working with more and more people as this goes on.
Yeah, and so if you want to get your ticket, go to cascadiatabletop.com and click on Killscream 3. Tickets are live right now. It's $100 for 3 days of game and tournament. And like Tyler said, it's a golden ticket event too. And it's going to be one of the last golden ticket events to get your shot at Worlds, actually.
Yeah, I think the New York Open is the only event after that that you can get a golden ticket. So Killscream and then New York Open.
Connor, did you get your ticket yet?
I have not yet bought my ticket, but I'm going to be doing so soon. I know that I've already seen at least like 5 or 10 people saying they've bought one. So a shout out to everyone that's already bought one. We love you. If you haven't bought one, buy one. Do it now, right as you're listening. Stop whatever you're doing. I don't care if you're driving. Open up the app. Buy it now, right now. Do it, please now.
Tickets are going pretty fast. For the launching it late last night, we've sold a significant number. You definitely don't want to sleep on this if you're interested in coming. We do expect to sell out on all 128.
Yeah, so Connor, you need to take your own advice and get on and buy your ticket, buddy.
I am. I'm doing it right now. Go buy one now.
Connor, we're recording a podcast. Just can you focus on the podcast, buddy?
This is more important
buy
than
your
the
ticket.
podcast.
Get the
I
ticket.
love you guys, but the ticket for Killscream 3, which is going to be the greatest event of all time ever in the history of mankind, is far more important. This
true.
is more important than the moon landing, everybody.
I mean, that's fake anyway, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Killscream 3 is real, and it's going to be the most fun kill team event that you'll go to. We're a serious competitive organization and stuff, but we're also not too serious. You're going to come out, you're going to have fun, you're going to make a whole bunch of friends, you're going to play a bunch of great games, a kill team, you're going to maybe play a narrative game or two, or check out some other games and classes, see some cool vendors, and eat some great food and experience some cool stuff in the city of Portland. So we're excited to have you here. We do have deals with a hotel that's within walking distance coming up here shortly, and just like other little stuff coming to make sure that it's easy for everyone to come out here and enjoy their time.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking something up.
Chuck's looking something up. This is the stalling song because last time we had something like this, he kept it in the podcast and it made me laugh.
I might have to do that too. All right. So I'm trying to figure out if this is actually for real. So I had some. Oh, I think Nick's wrong. I had some breaking news, which was Golden announced 20 new flats just for you, Tyler. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that is really exciting. I love the Golden flats. I think they're wonderful to work with. They're everything I want out of an acrylic paint.
But I think the article he sent me was it's a year old. Oh, it was going to be some breaking news. I was so excited to hear that, but it looks like it's like a year old, buddy. All right.
Damn. Well, we appreciate the effort, Nick.
Yeah, you tried. It would have been resplendent to just hear Tyler go off on the new Golden flats, but I think they came out last year. So, Tyler, you probably have all them already.
I don't have a lot of acrylic paints. I have a couple Golden flats for the things I need, but like my acrylic isn't too plentiful.
Well, get on the acrylic train, buddy. It's the way to go. Oils are so like Renaissance, so like they're so Da Vinci.
Yeah, I just like that like painterly kind of like look. It's a different feel for sure. I like being able to set down my mini and walk away and go do something else and come back in an hour and still manipulate the paint. 2 hours or maybe even like way later in the day if I really want to apply some spirits to it or something like that.
Well, something that is actually new and hot is Termination. So this past weekend, we got the rules for Termination for the Hernkin Jaegers and the Brood Brothers. So let's talk about them a little bit. I want to talk Jaegers first. So, gentlemen, do you have a favorite operative from the Jaegers? I know I have mine. Let's see if it's the same.
I mean, the little dude that shoots pre-activation in Turning Point 2, he's really dope.
Yeah, the little dude that shoots the Bombast is actually his name. He is pretty sweet. I think you could actually set him up for like 3 shooting actions in a row if you played it right. Because you could actually, because he's got a 9-inch range too, which is this is the kind of the first time we've had like a 9-inch range on a pistol too.
Yeah, he's really interesting. I think that the salvagers are really going to, if set up well and positioned well, they have the opportunity to have a very strong early turning point too, and kind of make a very dominant first activation, especially if they get initiative.
I think if you got in the right spot, you take the Bombast, who, as Tyler mentioned, can at the start of the firefight phase can actually perform a shoot action. You could switch your gauge if you need to, if you're not already, and then you could still activate them again too and do a regular shoot action. If you set it up right, and it'd be hard too because they are kind of slow, but you could have him actually, if you picked infiltration and scouting, you could move him into position as your last operative, flip to engage, shoot. Then, if you want initiative, you could shoot and then activate him and shoot again and dash. You could technically, with him, shoot like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and as we all know, shooting is pretty good. Shooting twice in a row is pretty good. Shooting 3 times in a row seems almost incredibly OP. But I think overall the team will be fine. My personal favorite's got to be the tracker guy, just because he's got essentially a crossbow and a throwing hatchet, and it reminds me of all those stupid like Call of Duty Black Ops montages I used to watch when I was like 10. So he a guy with a hatchet and a crossbow is just a close spot in my heart always.
Have you guys looked at these teams for like a hobby idea? I think that the Jaegers are actually gonna be really easy to paint up. What I'm imagining is gonna prime in black, white zenithal with the airbrush, and then do, since they're mostly jackets, since they're wearing like their dad's jackets, just like through the airbrush with a couple contrast paints over the jackets, and then fill in some dark areas because I'm gonna paint them like the box art because that's what I do, and then pick out the orange armor. What about you, Tyler? What do you think?
I'm thinking about making fat scouts with them, like scout legs with chubby little Votan bodies and some regular sized trench coats on them. I think it would look really funny.
So what you're using? So all right, explain this to me. I'm not seeing it.
Basically, the idea is like scout legs or like another full size human leg on the Votan body, the Votan Pioneer bodies, and then like a normal human head and arms on it. So it's just like a chubby little guy.
Connor, what about you? Are you thinking about picking this box up, or you got any ideas for the Votan? How you can stick robot parts onto him?
Yes, I am. Or at least I'm splitting the box. I might get my own copy eventually, but I'm splitting one with a community member tomorrow. Thank you, tomorrow. They're grabbing the dwarves, and I'm taking up the Brood Brothers. But as for if I wanted to make my own dwarf guys, I personally am not that big of a fan of dwarfs, both like in 40k and just in general. But what I am a fan of is cool dinosaurs, and I've seen plenty of people use the new Seraphon kits from Sigmar combined with the dwarves armor to have the dinosaur legs and the dwarf torsos and then the dino heads. And because they have short little stubby arms, it works. They're just dinosaur T Rexes. So I might do something like that for these guys.
Tyler, what was the dinosaur show that was on TV when we were kids?
It was dinosaurs. Did you ever watch the last episode of that?
I never did. I don't think.
No, it's like pretty. It's like probably one of the heaviest episodes of television ever.
Really? Like, oh, is it like extinction level event stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, they're like all dealing with their like mortality and like extinction of like their entire race because of like the things that they did, like, in like 1989, 1991, whatever it was. It was like pretty heavy.
Connor, do you ever watch dinosaurs?
It's not ringing the bell. The closest I can think of is like Land Before Time.
Yeah, you didn't. There was the baby Sinclair, like the one baby dinosaur. It was almost. I mean, was this almost like Roseanne, like a wholesome Roseanne? Because you had the dad in the flannel shirt.
I mean, like, I guess, it was definitely like different. It was like pretty. I mean, it pushed a lot of boundaries for sure. Like if you go back and watch it and take a look at it, it's definitely like kind of out there, especially for the era. Like they're definitely like dealing with like real issues for even our current day now.
It looks like it's on Disney Plus. Actually, go for it, Connor. You got Disney Plus?
I do have Disney Plus, but you said dinosaur and flannel, and so that piqued my interest. So I just Googled the show. This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting like an animated show, not what looks like people in like Barney-esque costumes as dinosaurs wearing human clothes. But now I kind of want to go watch it because this looks so weird.
Well,
Yeah, this,
everything we recommend you watch, you never go watch, like Boogie Nights. So
If it makes you feel any better, I actually did load up Boogie Nights this weekend and then got distracted and forgot to actually watch it. So this
oh,
weekend I'll get to it, I promise. You
promise.
I do because you actually posted on your Instagram. Follow at paintingcavesminis.com or not .com. But you did, so I gotta follow through on my word now.
Yeah. So yeah, I need you to watch Boogie Nights.
or can we have them just like watch all of dinosaurs instead?
I don't know. I kind of want to watch it. Having to watch Boogie Nights actually.
Yeah, I guess Boogie Nights is great,
I mean,
fantastic.
what's more impactful, the last scene in Dinosaurs or the last scene in Boogie Nights?
You know, that's a hard one. Boogie Nights is like more critically renowned.
I mean, it
But
wasn't hard.
dinosaur, but dinosaurs is dinosaurs. Like you have people in puppet suits. Like that's something you don't see every day.
If you hang with the right people. But yeah. So let's get back to Kill Team. Overall thoughts on the Jaegers. I'm kind of excited about them, and actually I want to paint them up and play them. I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong. I feel like this is kind of a team that speaks to me with kind of their basic abilities and some cool stuff to do. They're like scouts, but a little bit different. And I don't know. I'm kind of feeling them.
I think they're really solid. Like both teams, really good.
The models look great. The rules look pretty okay, but that 4-inch move has me very hesitant, even with all the movement shenanigans they got pregame and then like extra dashes during their activation. But I'm very expecting to be wrong on this. But personally, I'm not too hot on the dwarves.
All right, so let's talk about then the one you are hot on, that you are actually getting half the box for. Let's talk about the Brood Brothers. So, Connor, who's your favorite operative from them?
I think everyone's favorite operative, probably the Primus. That guy's just incredibly powerful, practically or not practically guaranteeing, but pretty reliably giving you initiative is really cool. But my personal favorite is just the Knife Fighter because I like guys that can charge from conceal.
Yeah, that Primus is problematic overall. He's just gonna sit in the back and generate CP and give you the ability to tip the scales for initiative in your favor every turn, which is really hard to underestimate because like you have to expect that you're gonna get initiative, especially if you set up things right in the first turning point. And then it just allows you to do some really powerful plays that can't be countered at all.
So, for those who don't know, the Primus has a couple of cool things they can do about them. They are a 3 APL, 9 wounds, saving on fours. But they have Fist of the Patriarch, and they can perform 2 fighter shoot actions. But they also have Mastermind, which once per turning point after rolling off to determine initiative, you can do one of the following: add 1 to your roll, or if you didn't have initiative in the previous turning point, reroll your dice. So really powerful to get you initiative with this guy. Plus, he also has some pretty solid weapons. He's got a bone sword and toxin injector claw, which is 5 attacks, hitting on twos, 4 or 5 damage, lethal 5+ and rending. Plus, he's also got a scope needle pistol, which is silent, 4 attacks, hitting on twos or threes, 2 4 damage, and then lethal 5+ with a close and long range loadout on that. So while everybody's been terrified about the Primar, or the while everybody's been terrified about the Patriarch, like the Primus is going to be the one that I think people are taking most of the time, unless you're running like into a melee team.
Absolutely. I don't think that the team is incredibly imbalanced. Okay, I think that they're very mediocre. I think a lot of people are overestimating how useful Crossfire is going to be with the team. But the where the team I think becomes problematic is that giving the chance to take advantage of initiative and re-roll or add one to your roll every single turning point is extremely huge. It really can't be understated how huge that is in this game. And for the matchups where that's not the most advantageous, things like taking stun into other teams like Colts, Gellerpox, Felgor is absolutely devastating for them.
Yeah, the first thing I can see them doing if they do need to tone down the strength of the Primus is just making those options each once per game rather than once per turning point. So you have, which that still might be too strong. So maybe just making it once per turn. But you kind of touched on it yourself there, Tyler. One thing I really like about this team is everyone was expecting the Patriarch to be complete baloney, OP, most broken thing in the game. Games Workshop, right? How could he do this to us? But I feel like between the Primus, the Magos, and the Patriarch, all of them are pretty internally balanced between one another, which is a nice change of pace. I was hoping would be the case, and it seems to relatively be that. Mind you, we're going off rules. We haven't actually seen the data, but I can see considerations where you'd bring each of those specialists.
The Patriarch just sounds like fun though, because for those who don't know, he's got 4 APL, which nobody has in the game since the Custodes got balanced. He can activate twice, so he can split his 4 APL across his 2 activations. He can mind control someone, so if he's within 2 inches of someone and not within engagement, he can actually like mind control one of your guys and tell them to throw your grenade or fire your plasma or something. So he's got a lot of fun stuff, but I don't think he's going to be. He's also got 21 wounds, so he's a monster. But I just don't. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get that much play. I think he's just fun though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they did a really good job with making the Patriarch like the most narrative pick out of all of them, and then the other two the two competitive picks.
Well, I have a Patriarch painted up too from a competition that I did at Mind Taker. It didn't win anything, but it was super fun to paint. It's a good. It's not Felgor, but it was a really fun one to paint. Which actually, I did paint another Felgor leader. I'm working on painting another Felgor leader because I got shamed in the chat on Discord by Brandon because I had the wrong loadout for my guy. So, but Patriarch was really fun to do as well. The little brain stuff that's sticking out that you can kind of make it look like he's got some psychic stuff going on was really fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to putting the team together. I'm definitely going to do some kind of chaos conversion, but I haven't exactly figured out what yet.
So Connor, you said you're picking up this team. Any ideas on hobby scheme or any conversions you want to do?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do if I keep them just with normal guardsmen. I'll do them off like my own Imperial regiment I have paint scheme wise. So I'll have a couple of guys that have been affected, which is always fun. But an idea I ever since I saw the new Horus Heresy Mechanicum models, I knew I'd be using them. So I'm thinking maybe using tech thralls and the new tech priest and all those cool guys whenever they eventually come out. Maybe try and convert them for Brood Brothers.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Be nice to see like a converted up team. Like, are you thinking like Dark Mechanicus or just still like?
Still loyalist, but the tech thralls are guys that are worse than Skitari, so I'll feel like it still fits my like lower side of how I like to make my teams fit thematically. Tech thralls are essentially just servitors, so them hitting on fours and not having the scariest of guns will still track. I can obviously make some specialists to fit the specialists that the Brood Brothers have, but hey, that's just the tech priest experimenting. That's totally within their bounds. The Patriarch might be a little robot guy. depending on the scale of him versus some of the new models coming out. And then the Primus and Magos. I mean, Magos is already an AdMech word, and Primus is another AdMech word, so I'll just use two tech priests for him.
Well, gentlemen, which team are you more excited about or more likely to play? Me personally, I think I'm gonna go with the Jaegers.
Yeah, I'm definitely more excited about the Brood Brothers. I think it gives like more kit bashing options. Although Fat Scouts is going to be a fun project when I get the Jaegers and get around to that.
Fat Scouts does seem pretty sweet.
I'm going to play them as the Jaegers, but they're just going to like have scout legs and be a little bit taller, like a little bit sillier looking.
I can't wait to see that, and I'm very excited for that kit bash. Especially because I don't know where this is coming from, but when I hear the word Fat Scout, I'm just imagining like a redneck looking Space Marine Scout, which just sounds amusing.
I think you got to lean into that, Tyler. Actually,
Yeah, I'm not against it. So
I think you got to go like really get some of those
someone,
Votan heads.
I need like trucker hat heads with handlebar mustaches.
Exactly. That was exactly the vibe that was in my head, but I just couldn't figure out the words to say it because I'm dumb. But that and then like ridiculous like bad trucker slogan shirts that are just like bad dad jokes and stuff like that. Ridiculous like beer logos and the like. Maybe having one guy just carry the guy that carries all the mines, maybe just give him a keg he's carrying around instead.
You know, I'm already working on some trucker related stuff. Yeah, maybe I should just wrap that all in too to that. So we're doing Votan space trucker, but they're not Votans, they're humans. Fat human space truckers.
Well, that has been our mediocre review of Termination. If y'all would like some actual, like, real strategic breakdown, our friends over at Justin or the Kill Team podcast and Command Point did a much deeper dive into those teams.
Actually, before we move on, what do you guys think of the terrain pieces coming out in Termination?
You seem to be in love with them. They look like big containers to me.
Yeah, they look problematic because they're like 2 inches thick and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're fine, but I'm not hyped about them.
I'm definitely hyped about them. I'm interested to see how they'll play in Kill Team. But at the least, I just like cool giant bricks of terrain like that are always useful for 40k, and I like any ones that are a little bit more exciting than shipping containers. So I'm pretty excited for those. And the bright side is, like you said, you two aren't the most enthused by them. A decent amount of the community seems to be like, on them. So hopefully I can find a whole host of them on eBay for cheap.
Do you want mine?
I will gladly take yours, Chuck. I'm already getting so much terrain from you. I might as well just add to the pile.
You can't have mine.
Why would you do this to me? I was so excited.
I know, it's just fun.
You're a
All right,
monster.
so let's have some questions from the community in the Ask Vox Cascadia podcast channel on the Kill Team Cascadia Discord. We have some questions. Adelaide asks, which Terminator movie is better, 1 or 2?
I mean, Terminator 1 like really sets the tone for the universe. I don't know if you can get better than that. Like Terminator 2 was cool, you know, but like it just wasn't, it wasn't quite the same for me.
I mean, Terminator 2 I think is the more financially successful, but here's the thing. There's been Terminator 2, Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis, and Terminator Dark Fate. So we're not even figuring in the last like 4 Terminator movies, and I think they're actually working on a 7th one. Have you guys seen anything beyond Terminator 2?
There was also the Terminator TV show for a while, wasn't there?
That one was actually pretty good. Yeah, Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Connor, what's your favorite Terminator movie?
Terminator 2. I've only seen the first two, at least fully. I think I've seen bits and pieces of all the other ones. I played the hell out of, I think it was the Terminator Salvation like arcade game because it was always at the movie theaters, and that game was fun as hell. So I know that one pretty well. I think at least if it's Terminator Salvation. But Terminator 2 is just like it's the one that's I see referenced the most, especially that like chase scene down the LA River and the way the actor that plays the Terminator in it, not Alfred, excuse me, Arnold, but the evil one in it, the way he walked and moved is so perfect, and every actor that's played a Terminator since is just mimicking him. So I got to give credit to that guy for essentially defining what it means to be a Terminator.
They tried to in 2019. It was Robert Patrick, by the way. In 2019, they tried to kind of reboot the series and take off after Terminator 2 with Terminator Dark Fate, and like renowned for being such a horrible intro that it like breaks everything and like ruins the entire series. I'm gonna go with the Terminator because I think I only watched. I think that was the one that I really enjoyed, and Terminator 2 felt just a lot bigger and a lot. I like the kind of grimy, dirty ones like Terminator, like the original Predator, maybe Predator 2. So I'm gonna go with Terminator, the first one. All right, and to go back to our previous conversation, Sean, ABC Sean asks, "Why are Jaegers amazing?" And I think it's the bombast. I mean, he's going to shoot. He also stuns people with his shots too. If he kills someone, everybody within white of that person has to roll a d6, and if you roll or you roll d6 for each one of them, and if you roll above their APL, they're stunned. Why do you guys think the Jaegers are amazing?
Yeah, I think you got it dead on the head right there.
They're not. They're dirty dwarves. They're heretics who worship AI. They're the worst. Nah, the models are great. They're pretty cool. And I'm excited to see how people can perform with them. Because I'm a doubter, so prove me wrong, everybody.
Well, maybe that's what I'll take to Tacoma because I can't figure out anything else.
You're a liar. In the show notes, you said you're going back to Casser Kings. We skipped it, I realized, but make up your mind, Chuck.
I mean, my one true love.
Just go with the one true love. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I don't want to be like Connor where I never play anything but one team.
But see, you can, because now anytime anyone asks for Hunter Clade advice, I get people tagging me saying, "Hey, this guy can help," and that makes my spirit soar because I feel like I can be trusted on some stuff, which is kind of fun.
Not TV show recommendations, but
you said you enjoyed it so far.
I mean, it took me a while, and I was also under the influence of multiple things.
Well, that's your problem.
Kind of is, actually. All right, and then Adelaide had another question. If kill teams were sentient, had functional weapons, and can move their little bodies around, still the same scale though, which one would be the most efficient at killing mice?
I think it would be the Drukhari. They have a black hole gun. I think that's going to kill a mouse.
You don't think though that because we're still talking about 6-inch movement. What about the mandrakes? Because they could teleport next to the mice. Because you got to get close to the mice. Because mice are quick. Trust me, Connor. How your admech gonna fare against some actual real mice?
Well, I feel like radiation sickness would be pretty good for dealing with them. And rust stalkers have big enough blades that if it's still the same scale, but it worked the same way, they'd probably slice a mouse in two. But my personal answer was actually going to be Death Guard. I feel like a mouse would try and eat any Death Guard it did kill, which would just make it turn into a giant, for the scale of Warhammer, if we're keeping mini scale, a giant mutated mouse of evil disease. So that would probably be pretty effective at dealing with the colony.
See, and I went a different direction. I went more with the mice are trying to run away. You went with the mice are coming after you.
I mean, mice are pretty gross. They like to eat stuff, so they might try and eat like Nurgle. He kind of looks like a mutated cheese. Mice go for trash sometimes, I think.
That's fair. I could see that. Would you want some shooting teams though? So we're going with my mice aren't going to come near you. You want some shooting teams? You want some overcharged plasma into a mouse? That might leave quite a bit of a stain on your walls. You drop a demo mine right near their
yeah.
Their...
The Casterkin mine layer wouldn't be too bad, or the Vet Guard demo guy. Blooded would probably just deal with the mouse hole by blowing it to the smithereens, and the mouse can't get out anymore, so that's probably effective.
You could go with the Star Striders and do orbital strikes onto the mice.
That, yeah, but that might damage my house then, so that'd be a little regretful.
You got to remember though, it's miniature scale orbital strikes still.
I still imagine that's probably the size of a firecracker though, right? That might or a firework, depending on how big they're going with it. That might mess up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna be okay. I think you just put down some newspaper or something first.
That's fair. Okay, see that.
All right, and this is one for Tyler. Hypothetically, Scott. Scott asked, "Why is Cascadia Cut used for tournaments over letting everyone play the fourth game?"
Really, it's just because we have a lot of people that drive pretty far. A lot of people go 3 to 5 hours away from their home just to play at one of our tournaments. And so out of respect to them, we want to allow them to be able to dip out without affecting their opponent at the end of the day. So you're always welcome to play that fourth round. Find an opponent. We'll make sure that you're set up and ready to go. But we also don't want people to feel pressured to hang out, especially if they have a long ways to go afterwards, because playing Kill Team can be exhausting.
Yeah, it can be a long day even through 3 games, and I know that there I think with the Cascadia Cut, we've seen people, like, at the Blunt Force Beatdown, we had people that sat down for a 4th game, and I came up and I was like, "Hey, did you guys score your game?" Like, "Oh, I'm just playing for fun." So, I think you do see people that wanna get that game in, maybe a little narrative stuff, but I think that it's also good for, like you said, people to get home, or people also to, if they're not feeling super competitive, that they can dip out after that 3rd game. And then we have another question from Alex's username. What's Connor's favorite Lego set?
Great question, Alex. I appreciate anyone giving me the opportunity to talk about Legos.
So before you talk though,
I hate you.
I know it. Connor's favorite Lego set is probably Duplo because, small parts. Like, there's a certain age before you can actually play with Lego, and I don't think that Connor is actually there yet, so he has to use the big blocks.
Are you proud of yourself for that one?
Yeah, actually, Nick was the one who sent me that. So
Oh, did he really? God damn it, Nick! I thought you were my friend. No, that's actually a pretty good one. But no, my favorite. I'll try and keep this quick. My favorite is the Lego Star Wars Republic dropship with AT-OT Walker. It's one of the more exclusive Star Wars sets to get. It came out at the time right when Lego was starting to do brick and mortar stores. And the way we got this is on like a family road trip or something. We went to the Mall of America, which I think was like one of the first Lego store locations, and they had that there. And I was able to convince my parents that like they should buy this for me because I'm like 10 at the time. And the set is like, a giant walker and then like a giant ship that can actually pick up and attach to the walker and fly around with it, which is pretty cool. But it was like $250, which I obviously didn't have because I was like 10. But I convinced them that if they paid for it, I would pay them back. I said for all of it, but my mom and dad were nice and said, no, you'd only have to pay us back for half of it. But we bought it, and I was super excited because it's this awesome set. It came with like 10 clone troopers, so I was in love because I love the clones. And when we got home, I built it within like I think I stayed up probably like the entire night and built it in like a day or two. And I then got a little like chart next to the calendar, and anytime I found like a quarter or something, I'd go and put it in like a bag I stapled to this little chart and slowly just tick down every quarter and dollar I found until I didn't owe them half of it anymore. And that was my favorite set. I still have it somewhere probably in my mom's basement.
And you paid it off last weekend.
Nope, not that bad. It was back when I was financially responsible, and like as a kid, I would often go buy Otter Pops and like take my Halloween candy and sell it at school for like $1 for like a fistful of it type thing because I didn't really care for them or couldn't really eat
Thanks,
them.
diabetes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it made me a little businessman, and then that it taught me, hey, I hate capitalism and working for a living, so it was useful on a whole multitude of fronts.
So the Lego set that I want the Lego Star Wars Ultimate Series Millennium Falcon. That's like,
Is that the $800 one?
it's the $800
It's
one.
so good. Sierra won't let me put it on the wedding registry, but I'm gonna find a way of sneaking it on there.
You put it on that wedding registry, I will pitch in on it.
I'm gonna tell.
Assuming I get a wedding invite.
I mean, for that alone, you can get one, Chuck.
Yeah, that's kind of my like my white whale is because I've got quite a few Lego sets. Nothing like crazy. I've got the Boba Fett ship. I've got an AT-AT. I've got an AT-ST. I've got quite a few Lego sets for someone my age, but that Millennium Falcon, that's the one.
Hey,
Jenny, give me the Millennium Falcon. I'll get you a ring.
smooth. Hey, there's no shame in having Lego. We're all Warhammer people. Lego is just the early version of that. It's the plastic to plastic pipeline.
I actually really want is actually I want to get the I think it's in like Temu or AliExpress or whatever has the Warhammer 40K Legos. I want to get a full squad of those and run Intercession.
There's actually a Gundam styled like war game to play with Legos where you build like little teams of robots and you fight them off. So
I think I've seen that. It's like MFZ or something like that, right?
yeah, at Mobile Force Zero.
I can't believe I remember that abbreviation. But yeah, I've seen the kit bashes, and it's all like custom built and stuff. Those things are always really fun because people can fit a lot of detail into a Lego that's like the size of a space marine, but still have like fully functioning and moving parts and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, as far as my personal Lego set, I like the Lego Castle Forestman River Fortress. It was like the first large Lego set I had as a child, and I still have all of my old Legos, so I could put it together if I wanted to.
That's what we'll have to do for Chucky Con 2.0 or at Killscream. We'll just have a board made out of all our old Lego sets.
Perfect. And maybe I'll have my Millennium Falcon and Jen will have a ring by then.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you for joining me as usual. Let's plug some stuff. We have on June 15th, about less than 2 weeks away, we have the Skinning Pit Summerslam, a tournament at Shiv Games in Kaiser, Oregon. And we have a few tickets remaining. Tyler, you ordered the belt for that too. It's pretty sweet, right? Night Lords themed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the coolest belt yet. I say that every time, but like this is my favorite. I think we really hit the style like right on with it. So I'm excited. I'm competing in this one too. So y'all got to come beat me for that belt. Otherwise, I'm taking it back home at the end of the day.
Are you going to be playing Night Lords there, Tyler?
Absolutely. It's my skinning pit that you're entering.
Connor, I'm looking at the roster here and I don't see your name on there yet.
My name will be there probably tomorrow or Thursday on payday.
All right. Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Yep, very true. Thank you, Uncle Sam. I appreciate getting paid money. It's nice. But no, yeah, I'll be there most likely. Me and Sierra are coming down for the weekend probably. Her mom just recently moved to the Portland area. I think I might have mentioned that last episode or not. Can't remember. But regardless, we have a place to stay, which is always nice in Portland. And yeah, I'll be there. So come play, come sign up, fight me and probably kick my ass, and then go fight Tyler and get your ass kicked. And yell at Chuck for me too.
Yes, come yell at me, actually. I invite that. And then we also announced Kill Scream 3. So cascadiatabletop.com is where you can go to find the link to Kill Scream 3. We are selling tickets for the 3-day tournament here in Portland, Oregon in October. And the venue is actually an old H&M too. So, the place where I get all my clothes from, you can come and battle Kill Team.
Nice. That's where I get all my pants.
We make war on the bones of fast fashion.
Hell yeah.
Yes, next year's Kill Scream 4 is going to be at a Shein factory in China. So it's going to be a little farther out, but
I'm going to have to get my visa.
Yeah, absolutely. But like we're going to just push it. It's going to be next level for that China's largest Kill Team event ever.
Yeah, the Chinese Kill Team scene is actually pretty ruthless. I'm surprised they don't get more golden tickets.
Yes, though. As for this year, Kill Scream 3, sign up. It's going to be so much fun. Chuck, Tyler, Eric, everyone's been putting a ton of work into it. Thank you, anyone that's already signed up. I know a couple people were saying they're coming from like Florida or Chicago. That's so cool. Anyone that comes from out of state, Washington or Oregon being out of state, rather, you're the coolest people in the world. I'm going to try and have something for whoever travels the farthest distance. So if you're like in Austria or Germany or like Egypt, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like halfway across the world countries, come out and I'll have a special prize for you.
Yes, if you're from Germany, Guten Tag, and come to our tournament. We are also, one thing is we're going to have, actually coming soon, we're going to have a package deal with, like Tyler mentioned, there's a hotel down the street that we're going to have some room discounts on too, so keep an eye out for that as well. Tyler, you've got a little bit more time left on your latest shirt drop, right?
Yeah, so my All Our Rights Are Bastards long sleeves, and then hoodies, and then short sleeves also, t-shirts, are all up for pre-order currently. And then I've got some new shirts coming soon. We got new Cats team shirts that are going to be available to the public to buy. We want to support everyone out there who wants to support us. And then also a brand new design that I did myself. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And then Connor, where can the fine folks find you as per usual?
At Spanaway on everywhere.
And Tyler, you're at Lowbrow Minis on Instagram.
Yeah, and then dicethrower.bigcartel.com if you want to go directly to my shirts. But come check me out on Instagram. There's a link there that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, Tyler, You're really pushing the gram lately.
You know, there's a lot of community out there, a lot of reach that gets people to see like what we're doing. I think what we're doing out here with Kill Scream and our convention and the shirts is cool, and people should be looking at what we're doing here in the Northwest. We don't get enough attention.
Plus, if you follow Tyler on Instagram, you get to see all the cool news about the shirts. So follow him there. And like you said, Pacific Northwest is the best for Kill Team. And like Tyler said, the Pacific Northwest is awesome for Kill Team. I know a bunch of people are coming out to Tacoma Open. I'm thinking it might even be bigger than last year, but I have no way of knowing that for sure or just what the size we're at. But it's going to be super fun. Hopefully, we'll see you there. I know someone in the chat was talking about coming all the way from Florida to play in the tournament. So if you do, you'll have to come see us and give us a shout out, and we'll take a photo or something. That'd be super cool to have you out here.
Yeah, it should be really exciting. I think we have a chance of maybe getting close to the numbers that AOS ran last year.
That's I'm excited for Tacoma. Maybe I'll figure out a team to actually take there. I'll probably just take Ashkan.
Do it.
And
you know what you're doing with them. You'll do well.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to play something else. I'm at Painty Cave Binnies on Instagram. I'm trying to post there more. We are also at Vox_Cascadia on Instagram if Connor ever updates anything.
Hey, I am. We have a photo up or a post on there like just the other day.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But I am going to be trying to post more stuff on it a little bit regularly. I've gotten out of it, sadly, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. This has been a rough hobby week, so I haven't gotten enough to put on it. But on a different note, shout out as well to Andromeda Studio. I will probably have a story posted or like an Instagram post about this. But I've been a longtime fan of their work. They're a cool painter who does awesome little mini painting tutorials from Argentina, I believe. And just this week, he released a video where he did my Forge World scheme. So he's automatically the coolest person I know for this week. Thank you so much, Andromeda, for doing that video. It meant the world to me. And keep up the awesome work. I'm glad you're back. There was about 3 months where he wasn't uploading, which sucked because I missed his videos. But he's back, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, I saw that. It was really cool. Actually, I really liked some of his other videos that you pointed me towards to paint my ad mech when I actually ever start painting them again because I'm not happy with my paint scheme. So it was cool to see that you got your shout out there. I was a Patreon for Mountainside Tabletop for a little bit, and I'm in the one hit point gang actually. So if you go watch their Custodes versus Orcs video, I'm in the 1 HP gang. So
that's true. I saw your name pop up. I was like, I know that guy. That's so cool.
Yeah, we need to get those guys on. We'll need to bug them and have them come on here because they're super cool and our community loves them too.
They should also come to Kill Scream 3. Hey, Mountainside, this is Connor. Please come. That's I don't like how that came out. That came out weird.
I know. We'll keep that in
No,
there.
we don't need to keep that in there. We can cut that part, please.
Nope. Have a great night, everybody. Love y'all.